So last night we did the disassembly. That was very successful. We were able to get everything taken apart. So let's go over all of our components. As you can see from my tray here, the manufacturer did a lot of plastic one-shot zip ties. So we'll be definitely not using those again. We got 4 Corsair Vengeance DDR3. So those are 4 gigs each for a grand total of 16. Interesting motherboard. This is a 8-slot motherboard. And then the CPU is actually, as I predicted, a 3rd gen i7. Chunky boy. Motherboard's out. Very nice motherboard. Got some high-end features like the onboard power button. It's pretty cool. Power cables, power supply. That all came out no problem. This little blue box here, this is the power input for the light. And the little thing on the back, that green button in the last video, that's the switch and a button for the LED. So that's what that's for. Here you can see we've taken the top section out. Definitely some cleaning needed to be done there. Front panels all the way off. Drive cages. I've been talking to the client, and I think what I'm going to do, because these are Molex, I think what we're going to do is we're going to just take a screwdriver and take these boards out. I don't think it's going to be very often where the client is going to need to take this, take the hot swap bays and swap the drives out a lot. I think once they're in, they're probably just going to stay in. So it'll be a lot simpler of a build if we don't have to deal with these Molex power plugs, and we can just do SATA. So I'm going to take those out with the screwdriver. Looks like they all come out pretty easy, and we'll just have regular drive bays. Otherwise, you know, I'm definitely going to be cleaning this today. A lot of dust. Not as much as I expected, though. Like I said, this PC appears to be pretty well cared for, and considering it's a decade old. These are the 2 top fans, these massive boys. They actually have their own power switches. You'll notice in the last video, there were 2 red switches here. Those were these for the fans. So instead of a fan controller, these are just Molex for power. And then I don't even think they connect to the board. So they are completely manual. So we'll be cleaning these out, put it back on the top. Here is our CPU cooler. Got the cold plate nice and cleaned off. The radiator looks like it's in good shape. This was the floor fan. And it was, oh, sorry, this was the floor fan. This is the side fan. This is the side panel fan, I think. No, that's not the side panel fan. I'm sorry. This is, what's this one? Oh, yeah, this is the rear exhaust. So this one was the one on top of the radiator. Our DVD drive, I don't even know if we're going to be putting that back. We might, just so it doesn't have a giant hole in the front. So maybe I'll clean that up and put it back, but I definitely won't be connecting it. There's no point on the Batocera PC to have that. So this one with the rubber grommets, this was the floor intake fan. So I'm going to be looking at the case in a little bit and seeing what's the best way to redeploy that, because it was kind of off center. I might just put it back where it was for simplicity's sake, but I'm going to do some digging into that. Here's our panels. Like I mentioned before, we've got a fan to clean on this one. We've got 2 fans to clean on this one. On the front, the magnetic door looks like it's in very good shape, so we're just going to have to clean these fans really good. That'll be pretty easy. And then finally, here's one thing I've already fixed. This is the top panel. So this goes like so over the top of the case, and as you'll remember, I pointed out these front USBs were recessed into the case last night. Well, I fixed it. It was really easy. All it is the tricky part was getting it off. There's 2 screws in the back, and then you push the whole thing forward and it pops out. The problem is these cables were very taut when I tried to do that. There's a lot of tension on them. And this part here was what was broken. The plastic had come loose from the circuit board, and so this whole circuit board had just been pushed that way, and that's why the front ports were unusable. So we just reseated that and put the screws back in. I might take some silicone and re-glue that. I still have to decide if I want to do that or not. But anyway, pretty easy repair for that. Otherwise, it's just dirty plastic. Gonna have to clean that up. Looking at the back panel, pretty clean. Not a lot of dust here, so that's good. Also, not a whole lot of options for cable management. So this is going to be a really interesting cable management part for the build. Obviously, we have this cavity here on the left that'll be wide open. We'll definitely be shoving as much as we can in there because we don't have any channels and the tie down points are pretty sparse. I know we got this, but that's not super helpful where it is. So yeah, so that's a overview of the parts. So I'm going to be cleaning these. What I usually do is I'm going to give them first a huge blast with my electric duster, and then once all the particulate dust is blown off, then I'll wipe the whole thing down. Plastic and metal surfaces I'll be wiping down with regular antibacterial wipes, and then anything silicon will be toothbrushed with the isopropyl alcohol. So we'll be getting to that a little later this afternoon. And depending on how far we get, I might not post an update for the rest of the weekend, or I might post one tonight. We'll see how far we go. All right, thanks for watching.